here for you guys. 3 more exploits number 30 with Whackman19 and Bondfire. We've got lots of great topics today, and we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Strictly Business Gaming, for helping us make this show possible. And I don't know what else I'm supposed to say in the intro, but we're going to jump right into Whackman19's dinner choices because a few minutes ago we heard Whackman, I heard off the show, was offered meatloaf or dinosaur chicken nuggets, and Whackmed decided to go with dinosaur chicken nuggets. And for those of you who don't know, I'm not going to give his exact age, but Whackmed is a grown man.
Not a child.
In his early 30s and or late 20s, that range. Mm-hmm. He's a grown man, and he went with dinosaur chicken nuggets over meatloaf. So I have to know, dinosaur chicken nuggets, why? I need an explanation.
First of all, put in the chat down below or tweet at us and let us know what you would have chosen, meatloaf or dinosaur chicken nuggets. Dude,
if you're like under the age of like 17, I could see you picking dinosaur chicken nuggets maybe. But
why not?
I mean, I'm a chicken nugget fan. I like a good chicken nugget, okay? But I mean, meatloaf is good. Meatloaf is like a real food. It's like a real food. Mm-hmm. So I need a solid, concrete explanation as to why this happened.
I have meatloaf for lunch, for one. For
okay.
two, I don't get chicken nuggets that often. Another reason is if I want meatloaf, I want something else with it. And then I can't do the show. Chicken nuggets I can eat and do the show, so I'm thinking of you guys. And these are just freaking cool. Look, I murdered a dinosaur. Oh, okay.
Why don't you dip them in like ketchup?
Yeah,
see, I'm murdering any ketchup. I don't like ketchup. First of all, it's racist.
What?
And second of all...
Okay, wait. Ketchup's racist.
Ketchup is racist.
Oh,
I'm
God.
gonna need an explanation on that one.
What was the race card?
Yeah, somehow.
Race card. For 2 minutes into the show, race card. How are tomatoes that go to the store that you eat with that you're able to buy a tomato? It's picked by hand by a migrant farm worker.
Okay.
Most of which are not Caucasian. When you buy ketchup, it's picked by machine, combine, that's run by somebody with
tread lightly.
I know. Well, what I'm trying to say is some station in life, somebody with money, somebody that already has money, or somebody that's already entrusted with something. It's somebody that's well established in that farm, not a $3 an hour migrant farm worker who you can't communicate with.
Wait. So the ketchup.
So ketchup is picked
Ketchup is racist because it's picked by rich white people.
Right. That's right. That's exactly what it is. And tomatoes are not because they're picked by...
So you're saying by eating
workers.
Ketchup, I'm supporting racism?
Absolutely.
Okay, then.
It's a joke, but...
All you ketchup eaters out there, anybody who has ever eaten anything with ketchup on it, you are a racist.
You have to buy ketchup. It's not just eating it with it.
Oh, okay. Might be.
I buy the ketchup, so I'm not buying ketchup.
All right. Well,
I'll buy it for my kids, but I won't partake of it personally.
Okay, that's against your values. I see that.
There you go.
Thank you. You're too good for that.
I'm not. I buy ketchup and I eat it.
I enjoy ketchup as well. I put ketchup on almost everything.
Actually, you know what? For breakfast, I had some ketchup on my hash browns, and it was tasty.
That's gross.
I went to Denny's for breakfast. I had chocolate chip pancakes and eggs and sausage.
Well, that sounds fantastic as well.
And I got Taco Bell for dinner, and they messed up my burritos.
Oh. Well, that doesn't surprise me with Taco Bell. They're notorious for that.
Tread lightly.
I
love Taco Bell. My favorite.
Hey, I enjoy Taco Bell as well,
really
but you don't get my orders right.
Yeah, exactly. The worst, Burger King, I think, is the worst by far as orders right. Mm-hmm. In my experience.
It's good to know that across this continent of the United States of America, you cannot get an accurate Taco Bell order.
Yeah. Taco Bells in North Carolina are just as bad and inaccurate as the Taco Bells on the West Coast, apparently. Although they've got like 10 straight orders right, like the last 10 times I've gone. But today, I wanted 2 burritos with like no onion, no lettuce, and no tomato in them. And I got no lettuce, but they left the onion and the tomato in, and they also put rice on it. And that was just not flying with me. So I had to just eat tacos instead. I just got a taco instead because they screwed up the burrito. So, and then the Panthers lost before that. This was on the way home. I wanted some, what's the word? Not simple
Comfort
burritos. Comfort burritos. I wanted some
Comfort
comfort burritos, and I was really looking forward to that comfort burrito. And I was let down. I was let down by Ladasha working at the window, who like barely spoke English. So
What's her name?
I don't know. It was like,
Oh, you made up a name.
yes.
Speaking of the race car.
Yeah, right?
Similar to Jaquarius. So
You sure it wasn't
anyways,
Jaquan in there?
I don't think that.
Now, before you hit
Jaquan
dislike
works
for the
at the Burger
Jaquan
King, and
comment.
Jaquan works at the Burger King and gives me mayonnaise on my chicken sandwich. Okay, that's where Jaquan is, and it pisses me off.
Hey, you know what goes good on a
every
chicken
time.
sandwich? Ketchup.
Ketchup. I knew you were going there.
Oh
Man.
Hey, I got a question. Speaking of Taco Bell, have you tried that like triangle new item that they have? I don't even know. It's like
terrible.
nacho.
Have you
thing.
seen the commercial?
No, dude,
Yeah,
I don't
How
get any of those
tasteless is the
fancy-
commercial?
You know what pisses me off about that? I got one the last time I went to
Wait,
Taco
what's
Bell.
it called? Because I might know what it is. If
I
you know
want
the
to say
name
it's
of
like
it.
their new
Some
like
kind of nacho thing.
yeah,
Is it
like
like-
nacho thing burrito
Nacho thing burrito.
Nacho
Okay.
on the go.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Or
I
Nacho.
can't say.
That's what it should be called.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired at the Taco Bell. No, and you know what the worst... Okay, well, you go on with your story. Then I've got
I was just
another
gonna
addition
say,
to
so I
mine.
get this
Okay.
thing. I'm very excited because I love nacho cheese. Like you put nacho cheese on just about anything, and it's
I
fantastic.
see the excitement on your face as you
I
roll
love
up to the
nacho cheese. So I
drive-thru
get this
window.
thing, and I'm very excited because I love the Crunchwrap Supremes that they used to do. And the
Uh-huh.
great thing about the Crunchwrap Supremes because it's got that like tortilla in, you know, the hard shell in there as well to kind of keep its shape.
Yes.
This new Nacho burrito doesn't.
Oh,
so
I know.
you
Is that
take
the one
like
with
what
the commercial where the guy's running down the street?
running away from the
They're supposed
parents'
to be like,
house.
okay, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about now. Yes, okay.
One bite into that, it just falls apart. There's
Oh.
nothing supporting the triangle shape, and
There's no support structure.
no.
No.
Who made that? I want to know.
McDonald's? Have you ever eaten McDonald's biscuits?
McDonald's
those things-
biscuit?
Like
Those
on a
things
breakfast
You mean
crumble.
sandwich?
that
Those
fried
things
bread that
crumble
they
in
call
your-
a biscuit?
Oh,
Those things crumble in your hands, dude.
They're just
Like they fall apart instantly. It's
that's
so
why I get the McGriddles. I like me a
Oh,
McGriddle.
but the other end of my story was that I was gonna get KFC, and like the restaurant where I live, it's a Taco Bell and a KFC. Like it's one structure, so you can roll up to the drive-thru and get either one because it's owned by the same parent company.
Yep.
So it's usually a combination of those two or Long John Silver's, like those three. It's two of them.
That's what we have, Long John Silver's to talk about, which is
So-
the weirdest combination.
Yeah, so it's a KFC and a Taco Bell, and I said I wanted KFC, and then we rolled up, and I had forgotten that it was also a Taco Bell. I'm like, oh, you know what? I would rather have Taco Bell. So then I ordered Taco Bell. So I could have had
You're that kid.
the real KFC,
So you're
like-
that kid.
like a correct KFC order. Yeah, I guess the kid who chooses Taco Bell over KFC.
Kid that
Is that
can't
what
make
you're
up his
saying?
mind.
No, the kid that in the moment thought that 2 burritos to comfort himself after a Panthers loss in the playoffs would be a good idea instead of getting the sure thing in the 5-strip meal. Okay,
It's the
I should have gone
basis.
with the sure thing in the 5-strip meal, but I didn't.
It's the
So
basis for obesity in America today.
hey, man.
Hey, it's
You-
the
I'm
American
not calling
way.
you fat. I'm just saying.
Sometimes you gotta get some comfort food, man.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a little indulgence. It's all about
sometimes you're just
moderation.
having a good
though.
day. Sometimes your football team loses, and you just got to do something to take your mind off of it, and that's when you go to Taco Bell.
Well, since you went there, it sounds like a perfect transition to talk about the NFL playoffs.
Okay,
So,
the Panthers are out. That's something.
you know, I was kind of at between a rock and a hard place today, because I watched the first half of that game, because I knew if you win, you're going to play Seattle, so it'd be like me versus you type of thing, and part of me was like, I want that to happen. The other part was like, I feel more, a little more confident against San Francisco because I know we've played them before. I know we can beat them, and I think it'd be an epic match between Kaepernick and Russell Wilson since they're the two new young hot quarterbacks. So I didn't know who to root for. So
I think that the California tie-dye has migrated north and washed your brain, you would have beaten Carolina much easier than the fact that you're going to lose next week against San Francisco.
They're not going to lose, but they probably would have had an easier time with us. Although I think we match up better with the Seahawks than with the 49ers.
No, I don't see us losing that game.
49ers, I think, are the best team in the league right now, but it's still home field advantage for Seattle.
Yeah, and that's a tough place to
play. The top 3 teams I hate the most in the NFL are the Saints, the Patriots, and the 49ers. So I'm torn yesterday.
I'm not a fan of the Patriots.
I'm torn yesterday watching the 49ers and the Seahawks. It's like on one end, okay, hypothetically if the Panthers were to advance, which they didn't, but at the time, hypothetically if they were to advance, obviously you'd rather play at home versus the Saints and on the road at the Seahawks.
Yep.
But I just hate the Saints so much. I couldn't do it. And then the 49ers, God, their whole team, they whine so much. Oh my God, I can't take it. That Harbaugh leaves. There is a coaching box on the sideline that the coach is not supposed to leave a certain parameter on the field, or else it's a penalty.
I didn't know that.
That doesn't exist for Harbaugh because he's on the field 24/7, crying and crying. Crabtree, God, somebody needs to just take him out next week because he does not stop talking the entire game. All he does is complain the whole time.
Saw that.
Kaepernick is a punk.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm
not a fan of Kaepernick.
And they got a bunch of felons on the front 7. Alden Smith's a drug addict. Their whole team just pisses me off, man. It's a bunch of thugs. It's a bunch of thugs and crybabies.
So, yeah, I'm Kaepernick, man. I'm not going to take any away from what he does in the field because he does some good things, but his off the field composure,
his throwing
the way he
motion
handles
looks
himself,
like a shot put.
I don't like him.
It does. He throws the ball like this, man. It's stupid.
You know who I do like? I like Russell Wilson, and I'm a fan of him.
Did you hear? Here's an interesting story. I think we need to debate whether this is a legitimate thing or not, because I think it's kind of shady. Is that the Seahawks are only selling tickets to the NFC Championship game. You can only buy a ticket from them, basically, if you have a living address in the state of Washington, Oregon, Montana, Idaho, and Hawaii, and in Vancouver, Alberta, or British Columbia and Alberta, the Canadian provinces. There might be like one more state in there I missed. I know you can't buy it from California, but there's one more state up there. Maybe I don't know the geography of that area, but it's like Idaho, Montana, maybe Wyoming. Definitely Idaho, Montana, Washington, Oregon.
If they are doing that, they have to be doing that with the consent of the NFL because what they're selling is NFL property. They don't have the rights to do special things with their tickets.
That's a good point. It just seems it seems to me like, I mean, I understand you want to protect your home field advantage, but at the same time, you could potentially be keeping some of your own fans out. And all you're really doing is saying, okay, anybody who doesn't live in these states, you're going to have to pay more because you're going to have to buy it from someone who bought it from us if you want to get in. So, I mean, like, say you're a Seahawks fan who lives in Arizona or something, like somewhere where you don't get to go to any Seahawks games, but you want to go to this game. Well, now you can, unless you pay a ridiculous price. And it's already expensive enough. I don't know. It seems kind of screwed up to me, personally. But I don't know if you guys have any. I don't know if you guys have any outstanding feelings on that. Maybe you don't, but I thought it was worth a mention.
I can see why they do it, but I mean, you're right. They must have the consent of the NFL. I mean, that's a good point to bring up. That's interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know you could do that. In games like that, sometimes I kind of wish they would do it because sometimes when let's say you do get a bunch of San Francisco fans who drive all the way up to Seattle, since I mean it's a day's worth of driving, but you could easily do it. I mean, you hear about all these times when, like, opposing fans go to those stadiums and, like, all this stupid stuff happens because no one can actually just respect one another and enjoy the game. So I could see maybe for that reasoning in doing something like that. But I don't know. It's interesting. Very interesting.
Well, there were some, not altercations, but some choice words between fans at the game today.
Yeah,
particularly when we were walking back, like, through the city back to where we parked, and there was, like, a group of 49ers fans standing on the side of the road, and they were singing the na song, and then people were flipping them off as we walked by. So there was some of that going on.
Yeah.
And then there's always at least like one fight that breaks out in the parking lot that you hear about the next day, usually.
Oh yeah.
But it's still, and there were like 49ers fans that said they flew from San Francisco here for this game, which tells me you have no confidence in your team to advance, because why would you go here when you thought you could go to Seattle? But I don't know. It seems, I don't know. I don't like keeping people out based on where they live. It's not American.
Yeah.
We're all Americans here.
Oh,
Dang it. Unless you work at Taco Bell, apparently, or if you pick tomatoes for ketchup. Or excuse me, if you pick real tomatoes.
According to your president, even the tomato picking industry individuals are members of the world economy. World, what is it? World citizens?
I guess. Hey, if you pick tomatoes, you're an immigrant worker. Whackman said it first.
No, I said no. I think if you want to go back and play the tape, I said most of them are migrant farm workers, and that's true. I got like Gadsden County, Florida. Look it up. Most of the people that live there do not speak English as a first language, and most of them are migrant, or I probably listed as migrant. They're actually residential farm workers, but.
Not to get overly into politics, but did you guys hear about Christie and the bridge shutdown?
Is that ridiculous or what? That actually
that kind of like, okay, I support like the election were today, Christie versus, I don't know who the leading Democrat is right now, Hillary Clinton, I don't know.
Probably Hillary Clinton.
Probably. I would vote for Christie because I think he's not going to take any BS from anybody, but that whole bridge thing, that's some shady crap. And I think Christie, I think he might be in the mafia. Okay, he has that look about it.
No, it's not shady. I mean, the presidents do it every time they go anywhere. They shut down all of transit and travel routes.
No, that's different, though. That's different.
How is that different?
Are you familiar with what actually happened, like, specifically?
Like,
basically, the
president will shut down three routes of travel. The president shuts down 3 routes of travel anytime they go anywhere. They go on an airplane, they have 2 airplanes in the air.
Yeah, but it didn't have anything to do with Christie being
yes, it does,
traveling.
Because
No.
there are people that get stuck on a bridge every time the president goes through New York for a car that doesn't have the president in it. It's just another car that might have the president in it. So
okay, but here's why it's different. Is because the reason this bridge was shut down was because whatever city was on the other side of that bridge, and I don't know what it was, some town in New Jersey, said, like, the mayor of that town or representative from that town or somebody from representing that town politically said that they did not endorse the re-election of Christie as governor. Therefore, one of Christie's employees, as a shot at that person in that town, shut down this bridge to cause a traffic problem and covered it up as a traffic test or something. And then apparently somebody died because an ambulance could not get to them in time due to that traffic congestion. That's completely doing that as a shot at the neighboring town is completely different than the president traveling somewhere, potentially traveling somewhere.
As an ambulance worker, I can tell you that there are extreme few occasions where minutes matter. Extreme few. You say, well, in a heart attack, minutes matter. Yeah, most of the time, there's not enough minutes for the ambulance crew to get there anyway. You know. But
we're talking about, 3 lanes on each side being shut down to 1 lane on each side. I mean, that can be a pretty significant slowdown.
Yeah, but
I just thought it was interesting.
As the governor, doesn't he have the authority to do that?
He does, but it gets to the point where, are you really screwing up people's days and causing extra traffic as a vengeful shot at someone who said they didn't endorse you politically? It's kind of petty.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got the Obama shot in there, so I just thought we could bring it up.
I
trying to balance it out.
There are so much other political things that go on that never get addressed. Somebody shuts down a bridge well within their rights to do so, and it causes national attention because 2 cities are taking shots at each other, or a city and the government. I thought it was silly. Like, it made Sports Center.
It did?
Well, it's Sports Center Radio, yeah.
No. Was that like
hey
a
man,
Jonathan
some
Coach
of us don't get to sit around and watch SportsCenter all the time. SportsCenter Radio is like top of the food chain.
Hey man, I like listening to SportsCenter Radio. I don't watch SportsCenter that much. I don't like it now anymore that much because
I just like watching the top 10 plays.
Whenever there's one big story, that's all they talk about. They don't talk about anything else. Like Alex Rodriguez yesterday. All he wanted to talk about was Alex Rodriguez getting suspended for next season. He was washed up. He's not good anymore. He wasn't good. Everybody knows he cheated. We could spend 30 minutes talking about it, and then after that we can move on to many of the other more important sports stories, but no. They kept talking about it, and they kept talking about it, and they kept talking about it, to the point where it was just redundant and boring.
That's what they do.
I'm just glad they started doing that, because they were stuck on the Baseball Hall of Fame voting, and then what's his name?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
What's his name that gave away his vote to the... Did you hear about that, Bondfire?
I knew there was something going on, but I honestly don't follow baseball or anything relative to baseball very much.
Okay,
so
I'll lay it out for you and tell you why this is stupid. What's his name? Oyster. I know you know his name.
It's like
is it a voter or a player?
It's the voter that got his vote taken away eventually. So
I'm not really familiar with this story, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. Okay, let's just say Mr. X.
Mr. X is a very, very well-known ESPN contributor. Has a vote for the Baseball Hall of Fame. In the Baseball Hall of Fame, you're allowed to vote in 10 people, put 10 people on the ballot. They take whoever has...
Is it like a TV analyst for him?
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know.
Is he like Kirkchin, Barry Larkin, John Kruk, Kurt Schilling?
Just Google it for me while I'm talking to you.
All right.
So he gives his vote to a magazine. The magazine polls their readers. 30,000 people respond with the 10 people that they would put on the ballot. He, in turn, takes and submits those
Dan
10...
Levitard.
Dan Levitard.
I actually like him, but carry on.
Submits his ballot that he has received from the poll that was made of the 30,000 voters. They stripped his vote from him. They're like, no, you can't do that. You can't give the people the right to vote. You've earned it. You can't give it away. You're a jerk. And it has caused this huge... massive uprising because he gave away his vote in protest of the way the voting system works, and that's all I heard for 3 days. It was so silly.
I didn't hear about that until just now, but now that I've Googled it, I see.
Yeah, I listened to the... You guys heard of Dan Patrick? The Dan Patrick show?
Yeah, I like that show, yeah.
I listened to that like on my way to work like every morning, and he actually... I'm pretty sure he had him on as a guest, and so that I did hear that. So
what the problem is that the people who would support him can't, because he had his rights to vote forevermore stripped. He's getting blackballed by the American Baseball Association or whatever their real actual name is. He is receiving massive amounts of hate from people who get to make decisions. Not just other analysts or other sports talking commentary figures. And those commentary figures have had to distance themselves from him, whether they would have supported him or not, because of the fallout that he is bringing down with him. All he did was give away his vote in protest of the way that worked. Anyway, I'm tired of hearing about it, but...
That's kind of dumb that they take away his vote. I don't know, with all due respect to Dan Levitard, I don't know how he got a vote in the first place.
He was a writer for 10 years, which is really the only requirement.
Yeah, that's...
You have to be in the Baseball Writers of America group, basically, which apparently is kind of screwed up anyways. Right. But they vote on all the awards. I don't know. In the end, it doesn't really matter because it's just a bunch of old men who all are... What's the word I'm looking for? Out of touch with what's going on in society anyways. Like, one dude said that he didn't, because they were talking about should Greg Maddux be unanimous vote in. There's never been someone who was unanimously voted in. There's like 1,000 voters.
Right.
But he got like 99.8 or 98.8% or something. He got over 98% of the vote. And one of the guys who didn't vote for him was asked why you didn't vote for him. And he said, I'm just not voting for anybody in the 20-year stretch known as the steroid era, regardless of who it is. And at that point, it's like, okay, this whole voting has lost all validity to me after that. because like you're going to cancel out a 20-year block of the sport's history because of the actions of some.
Well, the actions of most, but yeah.
The actions of a lot, but to say I'm not voting for anybody who played during this time period because a lot of famous people during that time period did steroids is stupid and ignorant. So, if you ask me.
Well, the thing is, you have to just accept that that period of time had rampant steroid use. Was it Jose Canseco said it was 75%? Maybe he's not the individual, but he came out, and there was another guy that came out, and everybody's like, no way, there's no way that 75% of the people are doing it. The NFL put a policy in place in 79, 89, 79, it's over a long time ago, 20-something years ago. The NFL puts a policy in place for performance-enhancing drugs. 2007, baseball finally catches up. Did it not exist in the entire sport for that period of time where you had a discrepancy between one sport and another? No. Does that mean that nobody used in baseball? And no. Does that mean nobody used in the NFL? No. But it was like commonplace in Major League Baseball through the 80s, through the 90s, through 2000 until 2007.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Do any of you actually follow baseball closely? Like Major League Baseball? I know Whackmad's kind of a college baseball fan, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm a college baseball fan. I used to watch Major League Baseball because at 7:05 every single night, the Braves would play on Channel 3, and we could see them. And then Ted Turner, I guess he sold the team, and now I can't watch them anymore, so it doesn't really matter. That and Mark McGwire became popular by doping and hitting home runs, along with Sammy Sosa, and it's like, well, who cares? They're all juicers, and so I'm actually my watching baseball is a victim of the doping, partially.
Interesting.
I can't watch a sport where I can't get behind a particular team, and my dad's been a Yankees fan for a long time, but I never really got into that.
Your dad sucks.
So.
That's the one thing I don't like is in baseball is Yankees and Yankees fans, just because of what they are and who they represent.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Although baseball needs a salary cap desperately.
Oh God.
Do you know that this is the 11th straight season that a team in the NFL has won their division after being last in it the season before?
I didn't know that.
11th straight season. This year the Panthers and the Eagles did it. That doesn't happen in the NBA or the Major League Baseball. You need to have a hard salary cap to have a good league. Because the NBA is completely just gone to the crapper as far as parity. And baseball's been there for a while.
Would you support a position cap? There'd be an overall salary cap for the team, but also a position cap where you could only pay a quarterback a certain amount of money.
So you mean like, okay, I know these numbers are unrealistic, but just to keep it simple from a math standpoint, say like salary cap for your team is $100 million a season, you can only spend $20 million of that on quarterbacks, $15 million on O-linemen, whatever, something like that, you mean?
Sure. I meant the individual quarterback, like you yea verily and thou shalt not spend more than $5 million a year on a quarterback.
I think that
on
would
any
be okay.
single quarterback.
That would be okay as long as it was set up proportionately to the importance of the position. Like I don't want the same number cap for a safety and a quarterback, obviously. If it were, I think that would be okay. I think that the inflation of salaries for quarterbacks is getting kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like look at the Ravens; they spent so much money on Flacco, who's a slightly above average quarterback, and now they can't build anything else around him because they paid him so much. Cutler just got a huge contract, and he's
terrible.
He's slightly above average. So, I think that'd be a good idea, actually. I think the NBA, I'd love to see the NBA have a hard salary cap instead of luxury tax bull crap. That's a load of garbage.
Yeah.
Bondfire, if you would answer that and tell me what luxury tax is.
I honestly don't know that well.
If you
I'll be honest with you.
basically, okay, baseball has no salary cap. The NFL has a hard salary cap. You cannot pay your team salary cannot go over this number. The NBA, you have a salary cap, but you can go over that number. But if you go over, you have to pay the luxury tax, which basically means, okay, you can go over the salary cap, but if you do, you have to pay.
It's like a fine.
An extra amount of money, and it's a pretty good sum of money because a lot of teams do structure their rosters to avoid paying it, but it's still not enough of a deterrent. And the number one thing I don't like about the NBA is how you have all these players who are friends with each other, like conspiring to go to certain teams all together and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the whole Big Three thing in Miami should never be allowed to happen. You should never have 3 players who all group up and say, "Hey, we're gonna go form a mega team." Like that shouldn't be allowed to happen because then
I agree.
There's only 20 probably like franchise centerpieces in the league at most.
Yeah.
And so you can't afford to have those 20 spread across 11 teams if you want to have a competitive league. Like, you just can't have... I mean, look at the Eastern Conference. It's awful.
Yeah.
Like, the number four down are all have losing records.
Yeah.
Maybe fourth does now. The Raptors were in 4th place. That shows how bad it is. The Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
I mean, good God. What is happening?
I think part of it, too, is the way the draft works. I really dislike the way the draft works. This whole lottery system and the fact that a good team that does play up the playoffs still has a chance to get a really high draft pick. That's stupid. I mean,
well, the lottery only applies to teams that don't make the playoffs, though. Everybody else is already set. Unless you trade, I guess if you have another team's pick, then you're technically still in the lottery.
Yeah, I really dislike it. I like the way the NFL does it. Even though you could argue that teams, try to, if they're doing really crappy, they try to just, try to get the worst spots.
I agree that the lottery is stupid. I feel like the lottery is rigged. I actually believe that.
I
believe it's rigged. And also, there's not enough good players in the draft. I mean, this year even is considered to be like a top draft class, like one of the top draft classes we've seen in the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. And after the first 8 picks, you're getting rotation players.
Yep.
Like each year, there's like maybe 2 to 5 guys that are like a top 30 caliber player level, like as far as career level, and the rest is rotation players. That's the problem. Is if you don't get a top 5 pick, then you're not getting somebody that's really good enough to turn around a franchise, and that's terrible in a league that is so like individual centric. Yeah. Where one or 2 players swings a franchise. I mean, look at the Bobcats. The Bobcats have been terrible for the last 4-ish years, and they've gotten like 1 top 5 pick out of all that. And that was on Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who is doing okay, but for a number 2 overall pick, like you compare that to other sports, number 2 overall pick, it's not good.
Yeah.
Whackman says, "What should I put on my chicken nuggets? Ketchup. Stop. I don't know if you're being a racist or if you're saying we're racist for using ketchup. I don't know. But you put ketchup on your dinosaurs."
What are the side items with your deal?
I don't have any side items.
How many?
So it's just chicken nuggets?
How many chicken nuggets did you eat?
About 6. I had to split the first go round with the youngins.
Okay. Are you getting more?
That's
6 is
big.
not much. That's
chicken
not
nuggets? That's it.
Oh, he's got another plate coming. Okay.
I don't know, potatoes or vegetables.
It's Sunday night, and we're doing 3-bar, and it's not.
I mean, if you're only eating chicken nuggets, you gotta hit double digits.
It's fend for yourself time. On Sunday night when you get home from church, it's fend for yourself time, and because I'm doing this, I can't fend for myself.
Well, don't go to Taco Bell.
I don't even have Taco Bell in my county.
Really?
No, I do not.
I've
got like 3. Do you want one?
Yes, please give me one. When I was in high school, we had a Taco Bell. It was beautiful, and it was magical. There were fairies and unicorns everywhere. Beloved place.
Oh God!
And it was great. And the employees were apparently stealing the food out of the back.
Oh God!
And taking it home and cooking it. I don't know. But I love them. I love that place. It's so magical.
It's a magical place.
I went to hug the door. Later on I wound up getting a part-time job or a job working in the same building that used to be that Taco Bell.
Well, I live 5 minutes away from the biggest mall in like the southeast almost. like one of the biggest malls in the Southeast. So I have pretty much every restaurant imaginable within 10 minutes driving distance.
Yeah.
Let's see, what restaurant do I want to expend that I could give Wagmed since he's living in the middle of nowhere apparently? Doesn't have a Taco Bell.
My wife wants a Crystals.
I don't even know what that is.
That
You
is
know a
sad.
restaurant I want to
I'll
try?
give you our Panera
My wife
bread.
is crying.
Nobody
I can
wants-
hear her in there crying.
I'll give you our Panera bread. Nobody wants that.
A what?
I like Panera.
Bread.
Panera?
Panera's
We
good.
got Panera. We got plenty of Paneras up in town.
You guys got Zaxby's? I know
Yes,
Bonfire
we-
doesn't. Oh, but
I was
Zaxby's
like, I don't know
is
what
the
that
best. Zaxby's
What kind of
is-
food do they do?
It's fried chicken.
Oh,
It's
okay.
awesome.
It's very expensive.
It
Fried
is. It's yeah. We've got Zaxby's, we've got KFC, we've got Taco Bell, we've got Chick-fil-A. You guys don't
See,
have
I wanna
Chick-fil-A
try-
out west
no, I
either,
don't.
do you?
I want to try
dude, you're
Chick-fil-A because I
missing
hear
out.
such great things about it.
Chick-fil-A and the
What?
waffle fries.
Yeah,
are
no
great.
Chick-fil-A over here.
Chick-fil-A in Tallahassee gives us gives the MS people a very nice discount most of the time.
You need to come to the Southeast Bonfire and get yourself a #1 combo Chick-fil-A sandwich meal.
We can
That
kill
sounds
you with
delicious.
all kinds of fast food around here,
Yeah.
except
see.
Taco Bell in my county.
There's that
Oh,
Heinz
there it
tomato
is.
Ketchup. There it is.
You
He's busting
racist
it up.
SOB, you pour that on your chicken nuggets.
Oh, man.
Oh, there it is.
Wait, so do you like go individually put the ketchup on each chicken nugget, or do
I
you,
am because I don't like
generally-
ketchup. I hate ketchup.
I
What's wrong
generally,
with you?
I generally
Ugh.
make like a small, like little conglomerate of ketchup, and then I dip.
I'm a dipper.
It's because you're
It's all
racist.
about the dip. You can,
Yeah,
if
you
you
gotta
want
dip.
a little bit, you put a little bit on the dip. You want a lot, you want to smother it.
You just like shovel
Caesar
it right
dressing
in there.
on your chicken nuggets.
Oh no way! That's an American. What is this?
I could see ranch, but not Caesar,
Why not?
because it has anchovies in it, and it's weird.
It's
Caesar
weird.
has anchovies in it?
Caesar
has
weird.
anchovies in it. Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're even putting like dressing on there, just yeah.
I have to read
not
this.
feeling it, man.
I don't believe you.
He's reading the ingredients list.
Vegetable
speak.
oil.
On
Water.
some Caesars, I can like taste the anchovies, and it psychs me out.
I don't have a problem with anchovies, but anchovy paste, anchovy
There.
fish.
There you go, my friend.
Wow, that's awesome.
Hey, you know what? There's a knowledge nugget for you. You are now wiser.
Boom. Drop the mic. Walk away.
Well, we talked some good sports. Whackman's eating his chicken nuggets with anchovies.
You know what I think is the most awesome is that we are 45 minutes or so almost
Oh,
into
like,
the show and haven't
yeah.
made it to a single topic we plan to talk about.
We hit one.
Not a single
we
topic.
hit the NFL for like 5 minutes, but then
Yeah, that
that
was
was off into a tangent. So that's like half of a topic, kind of.
Well,
I think
let's
it's
hit the next
awesome.
one.
I want to talk about Call of Duty.
Yeah.
As much as we hate COD talk, in general, as much as people don't want to hear people talk about Call of Duty.
I say I would beg to differ. That's like all I read everywhere.
Yeah, but it's
But anyways,
isn't everybody tired of talking about Call of Duty?
you'd
No.
think, but that's like what everyone wants to talk about. It feels like.
I mean, even though this was a topic that I suggested, so I can't really say anything, but
Call of Duty is awesome. If you don't play it, you like ketchup, you're a racist, and you're un-American.
well,
Wow,
I
that's
can,
that's a bold statement.
I can agree
because I do like
on-
ketchup, and I have not played Call of Duty. in
Look
quite
here,
some time.
Battlefield lover.
I can say
I'd say if you're a Battlefield lover, that is American.
Call of Duty is a more American game than Battlefield. Not saying it's a better
Are you
game.
playing it on your
it's
Japanese system? Is that
it's
what
a-
I'm hearing?
Oh, shots fired.
I am.
He went there.
That doesn't have issues if you want to get into that.
Oh, yeah, dude. I don't know about that.
You're right. It doesn't have issues.
No, I see. I tried to turn that around.
Oh, it took you a minute. Not only that, I can see it level. It doesn't wobble.
It doesn't walk. It doesn't walk.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Am I the only one that makes the Tyrannosaurus get Caesar dressing on his bottom like it's a tar pit that he walked through?
You're the only one that eats chicken nuggets with Caesar dressing, so
At age 30.
we've established that.
God, I don't even know, man. I gotta stop getting fascinated by this chicken nugget situation.
Let's not
Call
talk
of
about the
Duty
actual
championships.
game, but championships.
Call of Duty championships. Yes, okay. It's been announced. It's best of 3 online qualifiers. What the heck? What actually are you thinking, Activision? That's number 1. Number 2 is that it's an 18+ age limit. What the actual heck are you thinking, Activision? And number 3, there's only 8 American teams allowed. What the heck, Activision? Like, could you make any more mistakes with this event? Possibly. Okay, so we're playing for $1 million. Basically, you have to go through an online qualifier. There's 2 tournaments. This is for American qualifiers, by the way. It's a little bit different everywhere else, but it's the same general idea, which is that you go through one of 2 online qualifying tournaments, February 1st, February 8th. If you advance, you can go to a regional final in Florida. It's a LAN tournament in Florida, and then the top 8 out of that, 16 teams make it to that. Top 8 out of that go to the actual event, Call of Duty Championships.
But
Well,
go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, okay. Well, just the fact that it's online. When last year we saw that League play was a way to qualify, and people were getting DDoSed offline and playing with hacked Xboxes and all that crap in League play. That's possible to happen again. The fact that it's best of 3 all the way through all of the online qualifiers, all the way up to the LAN. It's best of 3 is so fluky. That just doesn't make any sense. And the fact that at least best of 5. You got to go. I would go best of 5 up until you got to maybe like the final 64, and then go to, because there's gonna be hundreds, if not thousands, of teams trying to qualify for this. So I understand not wanting to go best of 7, best of 9, all the way through. But I'd say at least best of 5, and then best of 7 once you got down to maybe like 64 or 32. And then the fact that you're making it 18+, I still don't. I understand that PR. You don't want to. It's a mature rated game. You don't want people who technically aren't old enough to buy the game playing it. But if you want competitive Call of Duty to grow, you have to recognize that some of the best players are under the age of 18, and you want them to compete. It also looks bad because last year they lowered it to 17 because guess who? None other than Optic Scumpy was only 17 at the time, so they lowered it just to let him play, and then this year they're putting it back up now that he's 18. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say about it, really.
You know, I was just reading up on this because I don't follow competitive Call of Duty as much as you guys do, but
it's rigged.
It says these qualifier tournaments will be played on Xbox 360 with regional finals and championship on the Xbox One. I don't know. I seen that's a little weird to me. We're gonna start on the 360, then move to the One. I mean, just pick a damn system.
What matters the most is that the 360 sucks compared to the One.
Well, duh.
I mean,
the only reason it's on 360 for online is because not enough people have Xbox Ones.
I don't care. I mean, I understand that that point is accurate.
I wish it were on Xbox One and it were 16+, because there'd be so few people that were able to actually play it. I might have a shot because nobody has any Xbox Ones.
The law is the law, though. It says mature on it. You have to be 17.
That's not a law, though.
Huh?
That's not a law, though, is it?
You can't buy a mature rated
Yeah, but
game.
you can still play it.
No, but you can't buy it. Like, you're not supposed to have it. You can't buy alcohol if you're not 21. You can still drink it.
It's different, though. But it's only... Oh, another thing, though. It's only rated 16+ in Europe. And it's 18+ over there.
Okay, well, the tournament's in America, and it's paid out in dollars. So...
Yeah, but there's European qualifiers. Yeah, but you can qualify in Europe, though, and they're sending teams.
Well, isn't that extremely
slots designated for European teams?
That's very kind-hearted of us to allow those limeys to have something.
Oh, jeez!
Wow! Shots fired!
Bam!
Good Lord! What does this show become?
It's become magical with fairies and unicorns. We've established that.
The ideal 3-bar exploits goes down in a Taco Bell where ketchup is barred, with fairies and unicorns dancing as Whackmed eats a burrito that has rice in it.
A burrito with ketchup on it?
A burrito with ketchup and rice and tomatoes on it.
Those tomatoes, those were picked, though.
I don't have a problem with it being 18+. Because of that stage, you have to be to buy it or close or whatever.
Still,
I understand.
Though, it's
the other thing
stupid,
is
though. It's like okay, if you were playing in the NFL and you said, okay, only people who, let's think of a somewhat similar line to be drawn.
There's not one.
No, there can be one. What if you said let's just go age limit. You said in the NFL, in the Super Bowl, you have to be at least 24 to play in the Super Bowl. Sure, 95% of the key players that would be playing in the Super Bowl are going to be over 24. But there are some who are under that age limit that are still good enough to play. And I understand that it's whatever. They said it was for the real reason for a legal standpoint as far as getting parental consent and stuff and gambling laws. But if they're going to compete at MLG events and UMG events and any other events, why not at this one?
Because Major League Gaming is not a real event to begin with. It's not a real sport, and that's why they have gambling law problems.
It's not obviously nobody's saying it's a sport, but neither is Call
No, but I mean that's why you have gambling law problems. That's why none of this makes any sense, is because it's not technically a real sport. Therefore, it's all just gambling anyway. That sucks. That's a huge problem. That needs to be fixed. That should be addressed. That's what.
Well, League of Legends players have gotten like athlete visas to come to the United States to compete.
The League of Legends got what?
League of Legends
athlete visas.
They got like visas recognized as athletes to come to America from Asia to participate in events. So I mean, the steps are being made in that direction. Mm-hmm. I know that there have been Canadian players who have been barred from playing in online tournaments because of gambling laws in whatever province they live in. Mm-hmm. That's also happened. Yeah, it happened to Rambo. Anyways, so the whole Cod Champs thing is kind of screwy all around, and who knows? I'm calling it now. There's going to be at least one pro team that does not make it out of the online qualifiers, and it's going to be bad. But then, as far as all these roster moves, apparently the Optic roster is already fighting with each other after their new roster being they pretty much like dropped everybody. It's now it's Ricky, Nadeshot, Clayster, and Parasite. Clayster, Nadeshot, and Parasite all hate each other, I think.
Yeah, I didn't think the Parasite kid liked any Optic dudes.
Yeah, they've had lots of bad blood, and then we all imagine, like, what if they're living in the team house together? Somebody's going to cut somebody's throat when they're sleeping by the end of this. That's just a recipe for disaster.
Why? Why doesn't, because they have so much problems with the online and all that stuff. Like, why don't they host actual LAN tournaments around? Plenty of tournaments around the states.
You could pick 6. Like, even if you only pick 6 cities, you could cover geographically most everywhere. Like, if you said, let's do Orlando, let's do Los Angeles, let's do Dallas, let's do New York, let's do Chicago, and let's do Denver. Like, that's, just for example, like, let's say those 6 cities, like, that's pretty well spread out to be able to get everybody. It's just a more even playing field.
Well, yeah, and since it is 18 and over, I mean, if you really want to play in it and you really want a shot at that money and to win, I mean, you're going to spend the money to go do that.
Yeah, nobody who's got a legit shot at winning is gonna not be serious enough to get to a LAN.
Yeah.
And nobody without LAN experience is going to do well.
Should I be saying this instead of typing?
I want you to say this out loud because I'm not following exactly.
There's no money in tournaments. There's no money in online gaming, and there's no money in this. But and the way that you prove
you mean from a player standpoint? I'm assuming
from anybody's standpoint, who's getting the money? I mean, if the largest tournament is COD Championships, it's $1 million pot that's broken up on 8 teams, the top 8 teams. So the top team gets the top team gets
top team got $400K.
$400,000 if you win this thing. That's not enough money to hold an event. There's no reason to do that.
From whose standpoint?
From anybody's standpoint. Who's making money? If $40,000, if I have to work a month,
$400.
If I have to work a month for this and get this whole thing set up, and I'm hosting an international tournament, and the winner's going to get $40,000, then there's nobody making money off of this.
400 first.
Activision's making money off
Activision's
of it.
making
MLG's
money.
making money off of it. You have to think about all of not only the sponsorship money that they get.
What money
from
are
all
they
of
making?
those,
Like, where are they
what
getting?
money?
Are they making it in sales? Because sales don't skyrocket after tournaments.
Ad sales,
Ad.
sponsorships,
Ad
increased
revenue.
awareness for the game, increased awareness for future competitive events.
So,
I mean,
Yeah,
MLG
well,
almost. I mean, not MLG. UMG. The UMG events get almost their entire prize pot covered by Elgato. Like out of the 20K prize pot that they give out at their events, almost all of it's sponsored. Almost all of it comes from Elgato.
okay.
I'm saying the sponsorship. There's enough money between sponsorships, ad revenue, and increased awareness for the game. And I think this is only a Call of Duty problem also, because in games like League of Legends and particularly Dota, there's tournaments with this kind of prize pot like on a monthly basis. Like there's a lot more money in those games because the esports scene in those games is a lot bigger and more developed.
Yeah, but also look at what's relative to this. If you have one college baseball game, the economy gets more money in it than having an entire international Call of Duty tournament.
Not true.
Yeah, way true, dude. You have
Not true.
one game played. You sell tickets for $15 a piece. You have 100,000 people show up. You've just paid out every single team. That
Wait,
are we
talking about like what kind of event are we talking about?
If you have one college baseball game with
No, there's not. Okay, first of all, there's not 100,000 people going to a college baseball game.
that was a wrong number. I'm sorry. You have one college baseball game with 50,000 people showing up, which would be a big game.
That's still a high number.
That's a big game.
Is this like a championship game or what?
If we want to say like a national championship game, then okay, because I guess that's the equivalent kind of Call of Duty World Championship.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a fair.
So it's the College World Series.
How much money is Brady gonna make off of endorsements for playing in the Super Bowl this year?
But it's relative. You can't say they're not making any money.
One player is going to make more money for one game.
Because it's the NFL. It's the NFL. What do you expect? Are you saying that you shouldn't even hold a Call of Duty tournament because they're not going to make as much money as NFL players?
No. I never said
that's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like.
What I'm saying is the problem is that this kind of stuff isn't regulated because there's no money in it. Nobody really cares anyway. You're talking about pocket change.
I can't agree with you on that.
These
people do care about it.
They do care about it. Some of them
that's
care about it very much because
job.
their job is on it. Their $65,000 a year job is based off of this, not their $2 million a year job. This is a very small potato.
I don't really follow what you're getting at, to be honest.
What?
Like, what's your underlying point? Like,
that there's not enough money in this for it to have the regulation that things that other sports you're used to seeing will have.
There's not enough money in Call of Duty tournaments for Call of Duty tournaments to have the regulations.
Right. Are they getting checked for doping for being on cocaine to improve their Twitch stimulus? I mean, it's well known that most of them take Adderall. Do they really need a prescription for Adderall? What doctors are writing these prescriptions? There's no checking of that. Heck, you had, what tournament was it last year that the players were able to go into the Xboxes they were playing on and make adjustments to the settings of the field? When can you go onto the field that you're going to play on and adjust the grass?
That didn't
or lay down different.
That had no effect on anything, though.
No, it didn't. But they had the ability to do it. They had the ability to modify that Xbox.
Well, okay, I'll agree with what you're saying right now, but I don't see what that has to do with the tournament not being worthwhile. What you're saying is that there's not enough regulations and whatnot. There's no governing body over all of it. That's the problem. There needs to be a governing body of some sort. Now, whether it's MLG or whether it's Activision that does their own thing or whether it's somebody else, there needs to be some kind of, and I do agree with this, there needs to be some kind of governing body that controls roster moves, decides who is considered a pro team and who's not, comes up with a universal rule set, all of this stuff. It does need to be determined. That'll happen within the next 5 years, I think, if the COD franchise continues to be strong like it is now as far as just general popularity.
And
I still don't know if that takes away from the magnitude of this event, though.
The point that I'm making is that body needs to exist. They need to be paid well, and there's not enough money yet for that kind of bureaucracy to exist. Therefore, you don't have the rules in place that you would expect in a larger. It just hasn't gotten there yet. Will it get there? I hope so. I really hope so. I made a whole video about this.
Yeah, I remember that.
A month and a half ago. And one thing I specifically called out was roster changes. If my favorite player in the entire world was Scumpy, am I still an Optic fan? Did Optic just lose my... First of all, Optic and Envy are in bed together, so it doesn't really matter who gets that money. But, am I still an Optic fan? What if I was a Merc fan? Am I still an Optic fan? What do I do if Big Timer was my guy? Who do you go to now?
Well, I consider that to be the kind of... You can make that argument for any sport, kind of, though. The only difference is that in Call of Duty, the changes are much more frequent, which is a problem.
That's my problem with it.
Yeah, well...
You can't change it every game. You should not be able to change a roster.
Exactly. That's my thing. It's like you have, after all these major tournaments, there's like 50 different roster moves. Twitter's blowing up because every little fanboy's crying and like, oh my god, and it's all this drama, made up drama, by the way, because all of them are like tweeting at each other and just causing just stupid BS. So why? So they can post their gay little, I just made a roster change video on their YouTube channels and get 500,000 views. It's bullcrap.
Got a new organization, guys. I'm really excited about this organization going forward.
Things didn't just go well. I didn't want to play Minecraft. So
I hate when people use the term organization when they're like, yeah, guys, I got a new organization that I'm playing under, representing. I'm now representing FaZe. It's I don't know. It just that word irks me for some reason.
I had to pay $20 to get my Twitter handle changed because I'm not Optic Scumpy anymore. I'm whatever Scumpy, or I don't even know. But
my new gamer tag is FaZe whatever, and it's got an X instead of an O because somebody already took that gamer tag when they knew I changed teams.
How about y'all just drop the Optic or FaZe before your little Twitter handles and just be Scumpy?
I agree. If I ever a COD Pro, I would keep my name as TacticalOyster and say screw you. If you want me on your team, you have to deal with it.
I'm so tired of that.
Strictly Business made a roster move.
They did, and I tweeted at them.
They picked up Dido.
I asked them, I was like, you guys have any changers? Or, like, dropping anybody? Maybe I phrased it wrong and said dropping someone, and maybe they didn't drop someone, but they'd pick someone else up.
Yeah, they dropped... I apologize, I don't remember. It was
because they said they weren't doing anything, and then I felt like afterwards they did something. Was it
Saints or Fears? I don't remember who they dropped. I'm getting my players mixed up here, but they picked up Dido, which he's a good player, but he's been known to sketch on people a lot. So I don't know if I agree with that completely. I'm just going to call it out. I know I support Strictly Business, and I hope Strictly Business does well. And I think from a player standpoint, Dido is an upgrade. However, he's not been one of the most reliable people. So, and I do wish, and once again, I support Strictly Business, so on one end, I wish that they had kept the roster the same, because I like when teams stick together, and I think it's a benefit when people stick together.
I agree.
I think it benefits the teams. I think it makes them better. So,
you get more time to play together and learn each other, team chemistry, that type of stuff. It has a factor.
They finished top 4 last. Didn't they finish in 3rd place in the last tournament 2 weeks ago?
I don't remember exactly.
I know they finished the top 4 because I saw that. That's awesome, dude. That's crazy. Isn't that like their second major tournament?
Their second tournament, and they're in the top 4. They were in the top 8 in their first tournament.
They've got the players, man. They've got the talent to do well. But I wish they'd stuck together. Like, here, that's what I don't get, is you got all these teams. The team that is stuck together has been Complexity, and they've been winning everything. Like, they've won, 9 of the last 10 tournaments, and they're the only team that's not making roster moves. Now, you can look at it the other way. You can twist it and say, well, the reason they're sticking together is because they're winning. Okay, I guess that's valid. But also, there's something to be said for the fact that they keep winning and they're not making changes. They made like 1 or 2 changes since they began this winning streak. I just think like playing competitive Call of Duty is such a chemistry-based thing. Like you almost have to be able to read your teammates' minds, and like everybody has to just know what to do. Everybody has to know what's happening. It's so fast. Like the game is played at such a higher speed from a mental standpoint than like playing a public match. And everybody has to be working perfectly in sync. All the gears have to be perfectly clicked together and spinning together to win. It seems like making a roster move, having one new player even introduced after each event, would just make it more difficult for everybody to get on the same page and be working. That's what it comes down. In the end, it comes down to, because individuals cannot win you games in Call of Duty. Okay, as much as you can say that you want to have
Call of Duty.
In competitive Call of Duty, yeah. As much as you can say that you want to have, Scumpy, he's a game changer, and Complexity, all their guys are game changers. Clayster's now a game changer for Optic. Parasite's a great player. Yes, great players make a difference, but you can't really. It's hard for one person to carry a team in Call of Duty. You may be able to carry someone through like one game if you just go absolutely off and give your team that extra boost, but one guy can't hop on a flag and capture it by himself. Everybody has to be working in perfect harmony for things to be successful. So I just don't get why teams make all these changes. It just doesn't make sense. Like, the whole community is so impatient. You've got people retiring at like age 24. Like Big Timer just retired, and he's been the most successful Call of Duty player of all time. He's only like 24 years old. Like, and I'm sure he's got some stuff left in the tank that he can play. Maybe he's just burnt out. He said he was just burnt out on the game, which makes sense. And he's been playing for 8 years, whatever. I don't know.
I don't think they like ghosts.
I don't
They don't.
understand
I saw a
it.
tweet from the nade shot guy, and he was like, "Ghost
That
is the
nade
worst Call of
shot
Duty
guy.
ever," and I'm just like, is that the cool thing now? Let's complain about Ghosts. I mean, that seems to be the trend.
I think the cool thing is to complain about Call of Duty, and I'm not going to blame either of you, but both of you have your disagreements with this installment and the portions of the franchise in general, and I do too. I've got some things that I would love to not be the same, but it's very popular right now to pick on Call of Duty, and
Right.
a lot of people are looking at this apocalypse of a game that's coming out in the near future, and they're saying that that's going to be, Call of Duty will never exist again when this game comes out. No one will even remember the name Call of Duty.
Just to
I disagree
confirm,
with that,
just to confirm, Strictly Business dropped Fears to pick up Lido. But anyways, I mean, yeah, picking on Call of Duty is the popular thing, I guess. And I still enjoy Call of Duty. I think after playing it for so many years, I see what the game could be. At least if in my eyes and my mind, what the game could be if they were to make certain changes, and that's what makes it disappointing. And I truly feel like the game has gotten worse over the years. I think it's still a good game all around. I think people give it too hard of a rap, but I think it's still a good game. But it is the popular thing to complain about it, and that's kind of the it's gotten to the point, and I really hate this. It's gotten to the point where in the gaming community, if you're a COD player and you're someone who likes COD, you're like somehow not a real gamer, or you're like a 10-year-old, or you're a fanboy or something. Like, it's uncool, and you're considered to be ignorant or not a real gamer if you don't hate COD.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disappointing.
That's the perception online. My issue with Call of Duty, and because I've played it, like I got it right when it came out. I was playing it. I really enjoyed it, and there's a lot of things I like about it. A few things I don't. You get that with any Call of Duty game. And then the next gen consoles came out, and that's kind of where my focus shifted. But I've gone back and played Call of Duty just because I still got that itch. I still have that desire to hop in a few matches and play. But my problem with Call of Duty, I think, is the community, the Call of Duty community, and what it's become. Because I feel like it's become a group of people that just want to hate on it so much, yet that's all they play, that's all they talk about. And the play styles that have been adapted and tactics and things like that, it's really driven me away from it, and I'm burnt out. That's what it comes down to.
I miss the days, kind of, I think what you're referring to in a way, like the days of COD 4, where nobody cared about who got the most kills and least deaths, but you wanted to win the game and you wanted to have fun with your friends, and it was more of it was more casual, but also more serious, like in a way, if that makes sense. Like it was more serious in the sense that like everybody kind of wanted to win, and it was kind of like a natural competitiveness. Like if you go to play pickup basketball at the YMCA, you're not gonna like beat yourself up if you lose, but at the same time, in the moment when you're playing the game, you want to win.
Yeah,
it's a competitive thing. It's a natural human thing. To where now it's gotten to the point where who can get the most kills, who can put up the best KD, and if you try too hard to win, you're a tryhard and you're a loser for some reason.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, it's all about, wrapping up, getting those big kill streaks. Everyone's got them set like so high because everyone wants to get I think it's the Lokis and all that stuff and the choppers, and you're right. It's gone away from that pure experience that you just want to go and you have fun and go play that game, and you can't stop playing it. And for me personally, I've recently rediscovered that love and addiction with Battlefield 4, but I'm playing the more faster game types like with TDM and Domination, where it still is that more faster paced gameplay that I'm not comparing it to Call of Duty, but it's got that faster style, and finding that it's so much fun to play, and I rediscovered that love with Battlefield, and maybe I don't know. I think part of it is being burnt out on Call of Duty, and the other part of it is what this community has become.
Well, the problem with the community, I was talking to a friend of mine who's a competitive player about this the other day, because we were talking about how the competitive community's crappy and whatnot. Pretty much every community, every sub-community of COD's crappy, pretty much. And we were saying why. The reason why is that someone who's old in the COD community, considered to be old, is like mid-20s. In reality, it's like on average, I'd say your average COD player, 10-year-old jokes aside, your average COD player is probably between the ages of 15 and 22. Like that's probably most COD players. Like in a public match lobby, you could say 60 to 70% are between that age range. And the problem is that's not a mature age. It's just not a mature age across the board in life. Like the fact that someone who's 24 is considered to be on the old end of the spectrum in Call of Duty, when in real life someone who's 24 is still inexperienced at life and still a lot of times not fully mature like in life. That's what the problem is. It's just the community's too young. I think, and that goes across a lot, gaming in general, I think, is that the community, gamers for the most part are younger people, and a lot of them just aren't mature yet. I think in 5 years, this is what we were talking about for competitive Call of Duty, but it applies to this as well. Me and my friend were talking, we said, we're talking about how everybody's impatient, everybody complains, everybody's ego has a huge ego, and they're all about me and not about the team. We said, well, that's how 18-year-olds are. In 5 years, when your current 15 to 22 crowd is 20 to 27, it won't be as big of an issue, you would think. But,
yeah.
Whackman, do you have any input here? Because you haven't said anything in a while. Hello?
I mean, I think you're right. I don't have anything to add. What do you want? No, I don't have anything to add.
Okay.
I got nothing. I mean, that's the problem, is that everybody is immature, and you have the anonymity of being online, so there's no reason that you should or no incentive to act mature. I think that most of your more mature players are playing together. They're playing in a group, and there's no room for you if you're going to be a little turd. And that's why you don't communicate with them well, is because most of the people who are, to use your numbers or to progress from your numbers, 23 to 40, are playing with other people who are 23 to 40 or a little more mature, that they can have a conversation with about real life, and the other guy knows what they're talking about. And that's the difference. I don't listen to little kids. When I'm not playing with people who are mature enough to talk to, I don't even plug in my headset.
Yep.
That's my thing. Like, because sometimes you just get the urge where you just want to hop on, you want to play a game, you just want to play by yourself. Have some me time where you want to enjoy a game.
And at that time, I say Xbox on. What do you do?
What do? I just press my controller and it turns on. Oh. And it says, Hi Bondfire, how are you today?
Now I gotta cut this thing off.
So, but like I feel like I can't do that with Call of Duty anymore. And that sucks because that's what I used to do. I used to just, you know what? I want to get in a few matches of COD. Don't want to talk to anybody. Don't want to deal with that. I just want to play a few matches.
Yep.
Get the fix.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen.
The itch is gone.
It turns
now.
Bonfire into Cod Fire.
The itch is gone now, and I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to play though.
Yeah, I love the way they've done Clan Wars this year. Is awesome.
I haven't been able to play a single Clan War match because nobody else has the Xbox One that I want to play with. Whackman has it, but
playing with
he
my
doesn't
clan.
want to play with you. There's no room for you.
No,
there's no room for me. I'm not 22 to 40.
The Clan War. If you'd have watched my last video, you would have. You know what? That's how I know you didn't watch that video.
I didn't. What is it?
Huh?
I did not watch it. What is it about? What is it?
The story of Whackmed and no.
I did watch that video.
You watch, so you know what I'm talking about. You know the
Was
reference
that a
I'm
Clan
making
War?
that he doesn't.
Let's see. Let's look at this.
So.
I left you a comment in that video.
Yes, you did.
I think I even gave it a like.
I disliked one of your
stuff.
videos the other day.
I know you did.
I did.
I feel like you're
Wait,
someone
why
did like
can't I
going
do?
and just disliking all my videos. Is that you?
No,
Are you,
no.
you just
That's the
disliking
first
all my
time I've
videos?
ever disliked one of your videos.
Because I saw that dislike and I was
Somebody's
like,
been dislike botting my videos.
I feel like that's what's happened to me, but I'm over it.
Like,
whatever.
but like, I got for like a good 10 videos in a row. I got 4 dislikes on all of them, and they all came at the like. It would be 0 dislikes, and then 10 minutes later 4. Like they all came at the same time, which is how I knew it was a bot. And it was the same exact number of dislikes each time. It was always 4 dislikes, and they all came within a 10-minute span of each other. So either somebody has like a small little social group that just hates my guts, or they put a dislike bot on me. One or the other. And it was really aggravating, actually, for a while.
They're called anti-oyster.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, what's not to love?
I don't know. Shucks.
Nobody knows. It's an unfathomable thought.
Shucks. No. Okay.
Yeah. We didn't like that one.
It was a good joke, man. It was a good joke.
You got to step your game up.
Your catch-up jokes are good jokes.
Well, we'll transition into another topic since Whackman kind of he alluded to it, if you will. That's I believe he was talking about Titanfall earlier, saying that was the next game to overtake Call of Duty. I don't fully agree with that statement, but we did get some news this week.
No, whoa! Hold on? Did I say that Titanfall was going to overtake Call of Duty, or that's what people are saying?
No, that's not what you said.
Okay. Whew.
Well,
you want to talk about
Titanfall equals TitanFail, according to Whackman.
Dude,
so
that's one of my most popular videos. I'm loving it.
I know.
You know what? I'm gonna go and dislike that video.
Bring it. If I don't like a video, usually I don't mark yes or that I do or don't like it.
Yeah.
But on that video, because you punched grandma in her mouth. No, dude. No. You see, that's why I didn't. One of the reasons I didn't buy Grand Theft Auto 5, I didn't want it to turn me into a bad person.
God, we need to record something soon, Bondfire.
Please,
I haven't been on.
I will go back
I know.
over there and into my children's room and get my 360 if y'all want to play Rainbow Six. I don't even have it hooked up in my setup anymore. I can't even get to it. I'd have to go to my kid's room or to my room.
I'd be down with that. I'm probably gonna live stream after we get done recording this, but
I gotta go eat dinner. But I do think we should all game together, play some more games together. Not just Rainbow, but all of them, anything. And Oyster, we do need to do some shenanigans because there's a lot of cool things you can do.
Yeah.
We need to do Dead Rising 3. That game was a bomb.
I got Dead Rising 2.
I'm trying to figure out what people want to see on Dead Rising 3. Like, what do you want? What do you want to see? 3 minutes of what?
If I were to say what I want to see on Dead Rising 3, it would be you making some ridiculous weapon and killing a bunch of zombies.
That's really hard to do. I mean, like, as far as the ridiculous weapons, you have to find the blueprints for these things.
And I said it'd be easy.
And then make there's a dragon hat thing you make out of a parasail and a dragon something or other, and you put this little dragon hat on, and it's really cool. You fly
Or
around.
like just
think I'm
do
gonna
some
start
random
my
missions or
play that
something.
game.
They don't last very long. The weapons tear up really quickly.
Yeah.
It depends how you use them. Like, it depends how much you use them.
You jump in the middle of 1,000 zombies and go ham on them.
Yeah, not the best idea. But yeah, I think I'm going to cut off my Let's Play. I might just cut off my Let's Plays in general, because I feel like it's prohibiting me from playing games, and I'm too lazy. I don't have the time to barely manage this one channel. And I want to play Dead Rising, but I'm like, I gotta Let's Play it, so I kind of wait till I can record. I don't have enough convenient recording times. That's why my channel's slowed down. I don't have, so I'm probably gonna just kill the Let's Play channel and like shut it down, and then go play live stream Dead Rising and play with Blackman.
Well, there you guys go. You've heard it first here.
What have we heard first?
That you're done with Let's Plays and you're gonna stream it now.
Yeah. Well, it was an experiment that didn't really work out. I wanted to give it a shot, but wasn't happening.
They're hard to do. I in doing, you know, mine, like I'm Let's Playing Knack, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I just don't think it fits what I'm trying to do at this time. Whackman, have you played multiplayer on Dead Rising?
Isn't it just
It's
co-op?
kind of hard. I'm set up to allow people to come and play with me, but I don't actually actively seek.
But all you can do is co-op like campaign missions, basically, right? If I'm not mistaken.
You co-op missions. It's kind of like Borderlands. They just come in and hang out with you and.
Right. I set mine up to not have multiplayer access, obviously. But I was under the impression, like before the game came out, that there would be some kind of like just free roam multiplayer mode, but it doesn't. It seems like it's just all co-op, all missions, which is kind of disappointing. I mean, I can see how it could still be fun, but I don't know. I would have liked there to have been just some kind of like, okay, here's you and your friends spawning into this world. Go do stuff.
Can't you do that in Nightmare mode? I haven't played any Nightmare mode.
I haven't played Nightmare mode, so I don't know. Maybe. I haven't played multiplayer at all in the game though, so
Potentially.
I don't know. You need to pick up Forza. It's fun. You should.
I don't have enough time. Like right now, Clan Op. Dude, when you're playing a
Who
Clan
are you
Op,
playing with in Clan
my
War?
clan.
Who's in your clan?
True Killers. A lot of people you don't know.
Is Archaic in?
No, because he didn't get an Xbox One until recently.
I'm in a clan with Jazz and a couple other of my friends.
I'm in a clan.
No, you're
What
not.
clan?
I know. I'm not.
I'm cool. I really am. No, I'm not.
They're adding. Apparently, they're basically changing Clan Wars over to League play though. Did you hear about this? They're changing it so you can play in it as solo, and it's going to be using competitive rules. So Clan Wars is becoming League play, basically.
That doesn't surprise me. I kind of.
Which I'm actually a fan of because I'm trying to make a comeback at competitive Call of Duty. Yeah, Oyster on the scene. So
watch out now, Oyster, free
the fact
agent.
that I can actually, I've been talking to some people. Somebody said they wanted to pick me up to make a run at Cod Champs until they found out that I was only 16. So that's not gonna happen. But I'm gonna try to like play game bouts and stuff more now. So I'm kind of glad that they're making it more like League play. I thought League play was fun, like even just from a casual standpoint, to be able to do something that's a little. I think it brought back some of that old, like we were talking about earlier, like that competitive edge kind of, where people actually cared about winning and it was more of a team thing. And brought some of that back, which I thought was good.
Cool.
I think that you're still scared to 1v1 me, bro.
Oh man, you want to live stream that on the one right when we get off of this? Let's do it. Let's do it. Quick scopes on the Xbox One. Call of Duty Ghosts.
Well, they would have already seen that if by the time they're watching this. Are you seriously gonna do this? Finally, it's been how many months I've been waiting for this?
If we, it's 8:04 right now. I'm probably gonna have to get off at like 9:30. So if we do it, if we cut the show off within the next 20 minutes, which we're probably planning on doing anyways,
Yep.
then I'm down.
Can you just
Bondfire
record it?
Bondfire could officiate, but he doesn't have an Xbox One because he's a nub.
I ain't a nub. What's a define nub?
What's a nub?
Oh, noob.
It's
Okay.
it's a noob that can't spell noob.
Goodness.
Yeah,
It's like nub. I was like, nub's like if you chop your hand off and you just got a nub there. That's. Anyways.
So did you ever?
I would love to shoutcast the match, but I got dinner coming up. But so you got about 20 minutes left or so, whatever. What else did we want to talk about? I mean, I was gonna make a transition, but Oyster stopped me. So
you were gonna make a TitanFall.
Yeah, I guess we can. Well, we didn't really talk about Titanfall that much after. I guess we kind of derailed a little bit.
Titanfall's
let's talk about Titanfall.
It's got a player cap apparently.
Yes, it's 6 versus 6. Why do you laugh? I'm just curious.
Because it's supposed to be the COD killer, and it's
Call of Duty is 6 versus 6.
Yeah.
I don't understand what people are fretting about.
But this is supposed to be like the thing that's way better, and it's like mostly the same.
That's the point.
I don't see why it's a problem.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see why it's a problem either. I don't
6v6 is fine to me. I care about if the game's good. I think more players is worse. I don't play 9v. I never play 9v9 in COD.
I'd love to play.
I don't like more players.
10 on 10 or something like that. 9 on 9. I don't care. And that be the standard size. That changes a lot of stuff. Like the reason kill streaks are set with like 3, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 points. The reason they're assigned those totals is because in theory you have to kill the entire team twice to get a chopper gunner or whatever its equivalent is or whatever. You have to kill a third of the team again to get a UAV thing. What's it called? The UAV where you can see everybody's direction. Blackbird.
Advanced UAV.
Yeah, advanced UAV, Blackbird.
Whatever.
The reason is you have to kill the entire team twice. You have to kill the entire team. You have to kill their best player at least once. And a couple of their crappy players a couple of times. You don't just get lucky and fall into these streaks by killing the 2 worst players on the team 6 times over. That's not the way maps are designed. That's not the way they flow. The thing is, if a third of the team is bad, or if one player on the team is bad and there's 6 players, there's a good chance you're going to die before you kill that one bad player 12 times. If there are 2 bad players on there because there are 10 people per squad, you got a much better chance of getting to the better kill streak without actually having killed the good players or encountered them on the map.
You also have a much better, but like statistically speaking, like from a pure odds standpoint, you have an equal chance of running into the best players you do the worst player. So you can also flip it around and say you're more likely to run into the top 2 players more often. I mean, it goes both ways. It's a 2-way street with your argument right now.
But what I'm saying is that on the lucky side, though, when you're getting lucky, when you're not running into the best players, when you're not in a 50-50 gunfight, one of those will happen before you get to the kills required to get a chopper gunner. If you have 30 people on a team and it only takes 12 kills to get a chopper gunner, then effectively it's the same point value as earning a UAV. It's not just that you got to get this many kills, it's that you have to kill this much of the roster. To get a UAV, you have to kill half the roster before you die. To get a dog, you have to kill the entire roster minus 1 guy before you die. To get a Trinity missile, you have to kill the entire roster plus 1 guy before you die. And that's how it goes. Well, if the roster's 10 people, then you're talking about maybe having to kill 12 people before you get a Trinity rocket, and that would be equivalent. Would it? Because that's the way Call of Duty's set up right now. That's why the Bondfire and I had this discussion in Battlefield. If there's 32 people, I can sit back with a sniper rifle and call in Lokis and crazy cool score streaks. Well, that's why there's no crazy cool score streaks in Battlefield, or that's a contributing factor. It's not the only reason.
Yeah.
The numbers are set up specifically for the math to work with the maps, the guns, the rates of fire, the streaks and where they fall, the perks and the way they're used. This is a huge mathematical algorithm. You can't just make it something else. That changes all the math. Like distances, ranges on guns matter because of the size of the maps. Why are the maps so big in Call of Duty Ghost? Because you have to stay a long ways away from each other because the guns are so powerful. That's why the maps are so big. Engage somebody at a distance. You get to stay alive longer. You can turn on somebody, but you have to stay away from them. You have to stay at a bigger distance. Battlefield people should love it.
Except that you got that little 10-year-old kid just sitting in the corner with his shotgun.
That's right. If he played Battlefield, he'd run around with that shotgun.
Damn right he would. I could knife him or something. But let me throw this for a loop, because I heard that Titanfall is not going to have kill streaks. So the 6v6 without kill streaks.
I don't like that.
I do.
I don't like that. One of the only things that keeps me playing Call of Duty is kill streaks. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun reward to be able to get into a helicopter and shoot people, or get into a Loki and drop bombs on people for getting a nice kill streak. Like, that's something that motivates me to play. It also causes a lot of frustration when you fall short by one kill of said kill streak. But like, I think that's one of the fun things, and it allows you to get those high scoring gameplays and stuff that are fun to get. It makes you feel good. So,
well, maybe they'll do. I mean, what Battlefield does. I mean, they don't have kill streaks, but what is so addicting about that game is there's so many things to unlock. I mean, whether it be attachments, different weapons, camos, different challenges to go for. That's what adds longevity to the game for me. So maybe they'll do something like that. And my guess is part of the reason probably why they don't have kill streaks is because of the AI players that are in the game. Because it's essentially every match is 12 versus 12. You have 6 human players and then 6 AI players on each side. And each of those players, including AI players, get Titans, that they can actually have AI control the Titans. They can do like guard mode or like follow mode and things like that. And so you could have a total of 48 things running around, essentially, in a perfect world. But that's probably why they don't have the kill streaks, because, I mean, if you got these people just hunting down AI players, now no one knows how good the AI players is, and that's a concern of mine, but that's probably why they don't do it.
When's Titanfall come out? March?
I think it's March 11th.
They confirmed a release date for that, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it's March 11th.
It is off the top of my head. Are you getting an Xbox One before that comes out, Bondfire?
That is the goal.
Okay.
So we'll see if the funds allow it, but that's the goal. What I'm really hoping for is that they do like a Titanfall, some sort of bundle, or like a Titanfall console edition or something. I mean, kind of what they did with the Halo 3 when the Xbox 360 launched.
There's a collector's edition you can buy for $250.
Yeah, that's just the game.
You know you can get it for the 360, right?
Yeah. I would not do that.
You can.
Yeah, no one knows who it's developed for. No one's seen footage. That game is going to be terrible, I can tell you right now. It's going to be nothing compared to what Titanfall is on the Xbox One.
And
PC.
March 11th.
Mm-hmm. It's coming up pretty quick, actually.
I'm not as excited for this game as I thought I would be.
I'm excited for it. I still have that excitement.
I don't know, man. It's just I'm worried it's just gonna be just another first-person shooter.
Yeah, definitely.
That's probably what's gonna end up happening. It's probably gonna end up taking away, like, I'd say the market share right now, if you were to keep it just between COD, Battlefield, and maybe Halo, it's like 10% Halo, 30% Battlefield, 60% COD probably as far as popularity. I mean, I think maybe Titanfall gets like 40% off launch. It takes a little bit away from each game, but I don't think it's gonna have to be it's so hard because the formula's there to win this genre, and Call of Duty has set formula right now. and people can say whatever they want about Call of Duty. You can say the formula's crap. Well, the formula works because it sells the most. So Titan challenge for Titanfall is having enough of that formula to be successful, but also being different enough. I just don't know if it's possible. We'll see.
I think it's possible. I'm not saying it's going to totally dethrone Call of Duty, but I definitely think it's going to make a big splash just for the fact that, I mean, to me it brings something different to the table. I mean, incorporating AI players and essentially you could call them vehicles to the Call of Duty style of gameplay, and it's still going to maintain that core arcade, really addictive gameplay that people love about Call of Duty and that are drawn to it. So, I don't know. Only time will tell, but I think it'll definitely make a big splash.
I hope so. I kind of hope something new comes along. Of course,
yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
I hope Call of Duty still remains healthy though, because I want to see if a mainstream casual game can make it in the esports world. Because all the games that are popular in esports are games that are built for esports. Like League of Legends was built to be a professional game, and the people who play it mostly, like over half the people, I'd say, estimating that play League of Legends are either compete in some kind of competitive fashion or follow the competitive scene, where the numbers aren't nearly that big in COD. Same thing for Dota, same thing for StarCraft. Even games that are not very popular anymore, like Counter-Strike. So I want to see if COD can break into that in the same way. But I don't know. I also hope Titanfall does well, just for new blood.
Yeah, that's my hope. I'm really looking forward to it. I kind of have my reservations about certain aspects as more information comes out, but we'll see. I mean, everyone who's played that game, if you watch the videos from all the big gaming media companies, they said it's insane. I mean, it's just so much going on. It's very fast paced. It's crazy and fun, but we'll see. I'm excited. I gotta, Whackman, I know you're not gonna get this game. I know you're not excited for it, but I can't figure out why.
You're really not gonna get the game, Whackman.
I don't have any interest in playing it.
You need to at least get the game, dude.
For what?
To try it.
I don't try games.
You don't have any.
I buy games and enjoy them. I don't try games. If I try it, I'll buy it. I'll get it at a red box or something.
But like, how do you ever play any new games? You can't.
I look at the
play
videos
a new game
about
without trying it. That's not possible.
I look at videos about them and I purchase based on whether I enjoy what I see.
Well, we haven't seen anything of substance from.
I sure haven't seen anything I like. That's for sure.
Because the game's not out yet.
And
what do you expect to see?
Something cool.
But it's not out yet. You can't. There's no gameplay out there that's substantial.
When the press packet, the first press packet.
What game? No. I'm turning this on you. What game have you bought in the last 2 years that you had not played a previous installment of, or that you like? Have you bought a game in the last 2 years on release that you had not played a previous installment of?
The only games I've bought on release ever are Call of Duty.
Exactly. So
Payday.
You never tried
I bought Payday. I bought Payday on release.
Did you play the first Payday?
No.
What made you buy the Payday?
Because it was only available on PlayStation.
Because I saw 3 videos of it, and I had friends that were going to get it.
You have friends that are going to play this?
Yeah. Okay.
So what's the
I don't know
difference?
if they're going to remain friends after they play it. I may have to boot them. I don't have enough room on my friends.
We already know I'm not in the 22 to 40 crowd, so I'm barely been counted anyways.
And you eat ketchup.
And I eat ketchup.
And I'm just a PlayStation fanboy, so I don't know anything.
Yeah. Bondfire's just a kid over there eating paint chips in the corner.
That's right.
Like, PlayStation.
I like my PlayStation, guys. It's so cool.
My PlayStation is so fun.
What I don't get, and this is legit, like real talk.
Hashtag real talk. Let's get it.
Hashtag real talk here. It's gonna have the same, a very similar formula to Call of Duty, which I know you like. I mean, you love Call of Duty. You still have that burning desire to play it.
I got a cream for that, by the way.
What?
Nothing. Keep going.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully someone laughs.
Like, dude, every time you say burning desire, all I can think of is there's a cream for that.
Okay.
Let's just carry on. Please carry on. Let's go.
I just don't get how that doesn't translate to Titanfall. I mean, they're made by the same people.
By people who weren't good enough to make another Call of Duty.
You're so okay. I'm done. You're so you're ignorant on this topic, dude. You're ignorant on this topic.
The game doesn't look. I mean, the thing is, you want to convince me to play a game that I don't care. I don't care.
Call of Duty, but saying that because they weren't good enough to stick around.
Why didn't they stay at the studio?
True. That's not true.
Why didn't they stay at the studio?
Because they weren't letting them make the game the way they wanted to make the game, which is the better way to make the game.
So they got fired.
They got fired because they made better Call of Duty.
So they're not good enough to make the next Call of Duty.
You know what Call of Duties they made? They made COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2. You know what the best Call of Duty of all time is? COD 4.
Black Ops 1.
You're delusional. Delusional. I can't.
See, all I gotta say is I completely disagree that they got fired because they couldn't make a good enough game. Because those people that made Call of Duty 4 made Call of Duty what it is today. The reason why you love Call of Duty so much is because of what they did.
And if it mattered,
they created that formula,
got hired back to make another one.
They didn't want to come back. They left.
Sure, they didn't want to come back. They don't want to come back to the best-selling franchise ever in gaming.
They've got enough, dude.
They got outsold by Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I gotta
that
take
still
my
has
shot.
nothing to do with these people getting, kicked
They
out.
they left.
Part of it.
Left.
Do you guys remember though that legal trouble that Infinity Ward had?
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why these guys left. And I don't know the details of that, but I know that's a part of
They
it.
did not get booted out the door. They left over differences, and they did not want to come back. And they did not want to come back because they've been working on this game, which they believe is better. And Whackman, have you played Call of Duty 2 or Call of Duty 3, either one of those games, then you can't really appreciate. You haven't played COD 4?
Like I said, there's
I am
one
so
at the fire
close to
station.
exiting the hangout right now. I'm so close. I'm not even joking.
We've been
I'm
through this before. What is
this?
this like? His news
So
to you?
close. I'm so close. Oh man, can we just end the show? I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I don't. The biggest COD fanboy I've ever met in my life hasn't played the Origins of the series. In the best game in the series.
Okay. I get a lot of hate for not living up to your standards. The fact is that I have very clear parameters about what it is that I do like and why I like them, with valid reasoning. The thing is, it's just not good enough for you, and I don't care. It's okay. I play more games than you, so my opinion's better.
No, that's not what it is.
I
just think that that's not what it is. I just think that your reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning is flawed?
Your reasoning is flawed when it comes to choosing games to play.
Commentary on YouTube was at its height for Call of Duty during Black Ops 1.
Because there weren't even HD capture cards until Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Because nobody knew what it was.
The internet wasn't as big 3 years before that either, but I'm not making excuses for that.
That's a dumb reason, though. That's a terrible reason.
That's not the only reason. That's just the one I got cut off while I was saying.
Because it's completely invalid and doesn't count. I want to hear your next reason so I can disprove that too.
Oh boy.
How did you disprove that? That was a fact.
Because saying that Black Ops 1 is a better game, and that's partly shown by the fact that there were more people commentating on it. That's because in COD 4, COD commentary didn't exist. It wasn't a thing. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody had ever done it before.
Okay. So
does
that make Call of Duty 4 better?
No,
Call of Duty 4
is
better. Well, that's kind of the antithesis of the point that you're making for me.
I'm saying Call of Duty 4 is better because it's a better game.
Okay.
And that's all that should come down to. I'm not saying commentary numbers don't reflect the how good a game is.
Okay. It goes towards the hype of the build of the community. It's a supporting fact.
There's no effect on the quality of the game, though.
It's just, well, see, you say the quality of the game is all written on that disc. I think most of the quality of that game has nothing to do with that disc.
Explain.
It is the community, it's the support, it's what goes on around what's on that disc. Not necessarily the encryption codes and graphics written on the disc. Now, they're 50% of it, but it's not everything.
A game...
It's my TV.
Okay.
My living room, sorry.
Okay, a
You're gonna get
game.
a copyright strike. Thanks a lot, Bondfire.
I'll close my door, jeez.
I'm
The
kidding,
quality
dude.
of a game is like the quality of a game is the quality of a game. Like what do you mean? Like a game can have a better or worse community, which can make it better or
No, it's
more
not
fun
a
to
car.
play.
It's not like saying I bought a car. This is how good the car is because it's a car. No, no.
So you're saying that if I buy a game that's a good game, but nobody else plays it with me, that makes it a bad game?
I'm saying that what you're saying is football is a great sport because it's made out of pigskin. That's what you're saying. I'm saying football is a great sport because teams do really cool stuff with that piece of pigskin.
Because the game is set up in a way that allows people to do good things.
No, what you're saying is that the pigskin itself.
But that's different. That's different.
No, that's what I see. That's the way I see it.
Similar to
the way I see it. The way I see it is a video game. When determining how good a video game is, I say, was this game, its features, what is in it, what encompasses it, me playing it, do I have an enjoyable experience playing the game? When they make the game, do they make it in a way that I like? Did they make a game that I like to play? And that's what makes a game good or bad to me. It's what the game is.
That game would be nothing without the multiplayer.
Yeah, but it has multiplayer.
Your argument doesn't work because...
But multiplayer is part of the game. Having good multiplayer is part of it being a good game and a well-made game.
The math doesn't work because it's like saying because what we said earlier was that everything great about this game shipped on this disc, but nobody that you played against on multiplayer shipped on that disc.
But they're still playing the game.
Yeah, but if they weren't playing that game, then your experience would suck completely.
Yes.
Okay. So it's
but
not
I never
just
said
what's
it was
on
all
that disc.
shipped on the. I never said it was all that. It's just shipped on the disc, though.
Yeah, you did.
I said it's the game, though, the game itself, and then obviously the people who play the game online are part of the game, quote unquote. But if the game's not good, those people aren't going to play it online. So it still comes back to the game on the disc. It still comes back to that, though.
So Ghost is bad because the community's terrible?
Yeah, basically I can say that Call of Duty is a terrible game because I don't like the people who play it. Based on your logic.
Because you don't like the what?
If I don't like the people who play Call of Duty Ghost, then that makes Call of Duty Ghost a bad game.
Those 10-year-olds camping with the damn shotguns.
That makes it a bad game.
Then sure, that makes it a bad game. Absolutely.
Bondfire, back me up here.
If you take 50% of whether a game is good or bad is exactly what you're saying it is. Okay? That's 50% of the game of whether it's good or bad or not. What I'm saying is you're leaving out the whole other half of that, which is my personal experience with this game.
You haven't played Call of Duty 4, though, which is the game we're talking about.
I know.
You haven't even played it.
I know.
So how can you judge it?
So it gets a 0 in that cacategory, which puts it at a 50.
Incomplete. It's an incomplete.
It's an incomplete. That's fine. Black Ops 1.
I need to stop the show.
Modern Warfare 2.
You
know why? Because I can't play the game.
I need to stop.
I can't play Modern Warfare 2.
We need to stop. I can't have this conversation
Okay,
anymore.
Well, stop having the conversation. Sit there and listen.
Okay.
Modern Warfare 2 did not have colorblind assist. I
no.
can't even play the game. So that's one of the best ones ever.
Well,
Your people that are making Titanfall didn't even put in for a portion of the population to even play the game?
No other game had colorblind assist before that one, if I'm not mistaken.
That doesn't make it right.
Yeah, okay, that's something that takes away from the quality of the game.
Battlefield 4 has 3 different colorblind modes. Thumbs up, dudes. Good job. What a good dice.
Way to go, Dice. You screwed up so many things, but you got the colorblind.
With your insider trading.
Have we said all we need to say?
I guess. I still don't understand why he doesn't like Titanfall, but...
The Titanfall discussion is to be continued.
Well, sure. I mean, when the game comes out, we'll have a great discussion about whether we like it or not. And if Wackboy doesn't play Titanfall, he's going to play Battlefield, so it's going to be one or the other.
I got to choose between this and that?
That's right.
I can wait until Titanfall comes out, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because if it winds up being a good game, which it could, I'll get it. But Battlefield 4 is a pretty cool game.
Oh my god, it's a great game.
You're like the guy who says a movie is bad when they didn't see the movie because all they did was read reviews of it. That's the guy that you are.
You can't read movie reviews and tell that it's going to be a bad
movie. Did you not watch
movie?
the last episode?
I can read.
No.
I can read.
We talked about
He
movies.
doesn't watch our past episodes.
I can read a movie review and have an idea of if the movie's going to be good or not, but I refuse to make a definite decision unless I've seen the movie.
I can read the book that the movie's made from and tell that I have no idea whether it's going to be a good movie or not.
So let's get back to my original question
But
before we end the show and wrap up.
Okay.
So it's obviously not the same, because Titanfall is going to have the same style of gameplay. The core mechanics as far as addictive arcade experience. So that's not it why you don't like Titanfall. What is it? I gotta know. I just gotta know
What
why
are
you don't like Titanfall.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Why
I
I
wanna
don't
know
like Titanfall?
Why you don't like Titanfall?
It's
Or
going to be
why
unbalanced.
you're not interested.
It's going to be completely unbalanced.
You
And,
don't know that.
or they will have lied.
Why is it gonna be
There's a
unbalanced?
reason that you don't have mechs walking around in Call of Duty because they can't balance it.
Because the maps are 3 feet by 4 feet.
Not in Ghosts. They're like 3
Well-
million feet by 4 million feet.
In Call of Duty stands or turns,
Yeah.
you're right. Those maps are huge, but
I see nothing appealing in Titanfall. Like if Titanfall's trailer, if they put a COD stamp on it and said it was going to be the next Call of Duty, like literally made by Activision, and this will be the next Call of Duty, I'd be disappointed. But from what I've seen so far, I've seen nothing that goes, yeah, that'll be cool. No. I mean, like, the coolest thing I've seen is the magnetic thing where he holds the bullets in front of his hand and then throws them back. That looked kind of cool. I don't see any redeeming qualities in anything I've seen so far, which is limited. I mean, we have talked about this in the past, that I see nothing good so far. I'm waiting for it. I'm not jumping on the fanboy wagon of, oh wow, this is going to be awesome because some people who made one good game in the past and then got fired are making this game. So it will be so awesome.
There's more to it than that, though. That's not like the only reason.
I understand
people
I'm
are
making a
excited.
condensed version of that argument, but still, that's in essence what has happened there.
I do not like being called a fanboy of Titanfall, because just because I've seen something that I liked thus far and you haven't doesn't make me a fanboy.
No, but I was speaking specifically about the people on that video, the TitanFall video.
Oh.
The ones, and I have people sticking up for me on there too, which is awesome to watch
You
somebody
have
else.
people still commenting on that.
People are still commenting on a 7-month-old video, and people are still fanboying for news that we got 7 months ago in a game that comes out in 2 months.
I'm gonna go read the comments
Do
section.
you have
right
it
now.
pre-ordered?
I do.
Did you get the big pre-order with the 18-inch?
I would love to have that
That's
because I think it'd look cool, but
does.
$250, go F yourself. Are you kidding me? Not worth it.
I just got the basic. The basic. Just the
What
game.
I'm waiting for is I want to know if they're gonna have a Titanfall bundle. That's what I'm waiting for, because I obviously don't have an Xbox One yet.
Yes. I don't know
So.
the answer to that question.
I wish you did. That'd be swell.
I'm sorry.
But it is what
Hold
it is.
on, I will Google it for you.
I just envision this cool looking Xbox One with like a custom Titanfall paint job on it and a cool looking controller with the game. That's all I want for $500.
Titanfall Collector's
For
Edition,
$550.
Xbox One.
Yeah, that's the big statue. I want the Titanfall bundle that I'm like 80% sure is going to happen. And the reason why I think it's going to happen is because Titanfall according to Microsoft, is going to be a very big seller of the Xbox One. It's one of their big staples in selling the Xbox One. Why wouldn't they bundle it with the system? It's just like what they did with Halo 3 on the Xbox 360. They made a bundle there. Just, hey, Respawn, give me my damn bundle. That's all. I got money, I'll pay for it. And then me and Oyster will have fun, and we're gonna get in giant robots and go kill things.
Yeah, and you're gonna feel left out.
All I see is question marks here. I don't see an actual announcement.
Yeah. It'll probably be like a week before it releases, and then there'll be like a mad dash over to Best Buy because we don't go to GameStop here, and to go get it.
Yeah.
You know, that's a huge fail though. Why isn't?
No, I completely agree. I think it should be announced like now, 2 months before release. Like, hey, look, we got this awesome bundle just for you, Bondfire.
Because truly, this is the exclusive of this console.
As of right now,
you
you're
should
right.
be promoting the everything. You should be promoting everything that you possibly can about this game. You're failing again, Microsoft. Big surprise there. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
I sense sarcasm.
My wife.
No,
loves it
he
when I
really
quit
might.
Disney.
He might die if this doesn't happen. I might die if this doesn't happen. I want my bundle.
I want my bundle, dang it.
Dang it! No, you're right though. I completely agree that they should be promoting the crap out of it because Titanfall is the big Xbox One seller. To me, it's a game that I think is gonna move consoles, especially since it's a few months after launch. I would assume that the majority of the bugs are gonna be fixed. I heard they've got an Xbox One update coming out. I don't know what the update includes, but it's supposed to fix some things. I mean, that's when people, they want to wait for those things to be fixed before they buy a console.
Yep.
This is the game they want. Step your game up. Come on.
Step your game up.
I hope you enjoy. I hope it's a really good game.
I hope so too, because I will be very disappointed that I bought the Xbox One for that game, and it sucks. That would suck. Not that I wouldn't get an Xbox One eventually anyways, because I'm looking forward to the next Halo installment. I am a fan of that franchise.
I forgot that was even still around.
Yeah, it comes out this year. Hasn't even been talked about, but it's coming out this year apparently.
What is?
I would assume it's Halo 5.
Oh yes.
Doesn't seem like there's as much time between 4 and 5 as there was between the other games. So it could be
I completely agree with you. But I guess if you look at what
4
Bungie
came out.
did...
4 came out 2 weeks before Black Ops 2. I remember.
Yep, I remember too. But I guess if you look at between Halo 3 and Halo 4, there was 2 or 3 Halos in between there.
True, there was Reach and ODST.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Who knows?
Other than that, I don't know of any other Xbox One games that I'm looking forward to at this moment. I'm sure they've got something up their sleeve. I would like another Gears of War game. I like that series too.
I may have to check that out if they make another one. I heard Gears of War 3 was pretty awesome, but everybody that left to go play Gears of War 3 came back to Black Ops 1 really quick. And it just seemed like if that game was that awesome, you wouldn't have come back to play Call of Duty.
I can tell you why they came back to Black Ops. Gears of War is so hard. Like, the multiplayer is very difficult. It's a completely different beast. Like, I get discouraged playing it. Like, I actually popped it in the other day just for fun because I was thinking about, because I'm going to bring back my throwback series, and I was like, oh, this would be a good one to play. And it is so hard. Like, I'm just terrible at that game. It has a very steep learning curve, and if you haven't been playing that game throughout the life cycle of Gears of War, like all 3 of them, I guess if you include Judgment, all 4 of them, then it's going to be very hard to get good at that game.
Yep.
Bonfire, you want to wrap up?
Me wrap up?
Sure.
Do
I've
it.
never done it before. I don't know what to say. There you guys have it. Episode 30 of 3 Bar Exploits. down below, leave us some topics for the next episode for next week. It's always appreciated. Again, thanks to Strictly Business Gaming. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next week.
Woo!
Oh, there it is, the applause.